Close Up is brought to you by the Kia Sorento R, redefining the power of Kia.
Are the New Zealand workers heading over to Australia in ever-increasing numbers welcome over there? You've seen the stories. There's a huge recruitment drive going on in this country with a promise of big wage jobs in Aussie mining towns. Well, the issues at Australia's primetime current affairs shows. Have a look at this reaction.
While there's a boom here, the jobs go there.
They're taking the dirt out of our country. Why aren't they training us?
New Zealanders are being lured by $100,000 plus salaries. 60,000 high-paying Australian mining jobs sold off to our Kiwi neighbours. Since the start of the year, a record 53,000 New Zealanders moved to Australia to work.
It's just to bring in cheaper labour from overseas to work in our mines. They don't give a rat's about Australian workers. The government doesn't give a rat's about Australian workers.
Joe Valentine has been looking for a mining job for 18 months. We showed him the recruitment video.
You know, it makes you angry. It makes you so damn angry. Yeah. I've got a wife, 2 kids, a mortgage, and haven't got a hope. Then again, I could sell up and go to New Zealand.
Joe is a radio tradesman, a father of 2, and he needs to work.
How dare they say there's a shortage of people willing to work in the mines? It's bull. It really is.
He's willing to work, willing to fly in, fly out, and he's qualified.
This skills shortage and labour shortage, it's absolute rubbish. It's rubbish. And I'm speaking for a lot of people in Australia, I'm sure.
The New Zealanders at these seminars are promised an easy transition, an even easier entry.
I'm here for a job, give me a job. But don't just give me a job because I've been on the telly, you know. There's thousands of people there, give them a job, stop taking overseas. We should come first.
So do we not give a rat's? Have we really upset our neighbours by poaching their jobs? Andrew Vickers is the General Secretary of the Construction, Forestry, Mining and Engineering Union. He is in Brisbane. Welcome, Andrew. Are your members really riled up about us coming over there?
No, our members aren't, and in fact a good many of our members are in fact New Zealanders, so it would be a bit unusual for that to occur. We've had New Zealanders working in Australian coal mines for as long as I've worked in them, and that's 41 years. I think there's a slightly different attitude towards New Zealanders to what there is to the broader question of an influx of overseas labour into the Australian community.
Tell me, who's winning out of this? Getting the New Zealand workers over there?
The people who are winning are the mining companies who are engaging recruitment companies to poach skilled labour from overseas and avoid their responsibilities, their corporate and their social responsibilities to train Australian workers. The reason that people are angry is that Australians are angry, is that they know about the numbers of jobs that the mining industry claims are there for the taking, but the mining industry only wants existing skilled labour. And I'm not talking about people who can bake bread or sell pharmaceuticals. They want people who can drive 300-tonne trucks, who can operate continuous miners and longwalls and in underground mines and draglines and open cuts. And they want them already being trained. So they're actually bludging on our international neighbours to train workers and then import them into Australia to avoid the training costs. And that's wrong.
Some of the people who are going to head over there can't drive big machinery or are not trained as miners. Is this the roads paved with gold for them in Western Australia?
Look, I would still be very surprised. I don't know an awful lot about Western Australia. I'm an East Coast coal miner in Australia. They may pick up jobs and questionable jobs in some areas if they don't have mining skills. They won't be driving big trucks if they don't know how to drive them. And if the mining companies are prepared to pick up people who don't know how to drive these trucks and operate these drag lines and train them, then they should pick up Australians, and I suspect they would pick up Australians. What they're looking for is people with existing mining skills primarily and fundamentally.
And of course there are ties that bind both the Australian and the New Zealand mining community.
We have very strong ties with our brothers and sisters in New Zealand. In fact, 2 of our Australians remain with the other bodies underground at Pike River. We remain as traumatised by that experience as many people in New Zealand are. And as I said, I've worked in the mining industry in Australia for 41 years, and I've worked with Kiwis side by side with them. They've been in the industry for 40 years, and they continue to be in the industry for 40 years. My own union employs a number of native New Zealanders in legal and recruiting roles at the present time. So, I mean, it's no stranger to us. I understand the frustration of Australians who can't get jobs in the mining industry. My own son can't get a job in the mining industry. He's a skilled tradesman, but it's not a trade they use in the mining industry.
Andrew Vickers, we appreciate you coming on and hearing it straight from the horse's mouth and close up here tonight. Many thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.